Lego Movie. It's funny seeing everybody getting themselves all hyped up like crazy over this film, considering how Legos are pretty much involved with everybody's childhood. Yes, even I had a few sets when I was a kid. Plus, I already mentioned in a previous review that I had a huge Bionicle collection. But I wouldn't say that playing with Legos are an unforgettable moment of my childhood. Even with the Bionicles, I associate them more with Bionicles than Legos. But now that there's an entire big-name Hollywood movie about it, is everything in the movie really awesome? Or will it be as enjoyable as stepping on one of those razor-sharp edges on the bricks? Actually, before I move on, I need to address the white elephant in the room that I'm sure a lot of people are curious about. As you may know, this movie is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, in which their directorial debut is one of my nemesis in form of a film, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. For the sake of this review, I'm only going to look at the Lego Movie on its own. I'm not going to have the Sony Pictures animated film influence this review, nor make any comparisons or references. This review will be all and only about the Lego Movie. Besides, we all make terrible mistakes on our first try, especially in a studio run by idiots. Now with that out of the way, let's find out. The story. Upon seeing the trailers or listening to what this movie is about, it all sounds like it was written by some 7-year-old kid, with the prophecy being the most important special person ever trying to stop the evil Lord businessman, and all the random cameos like Batman or Superman or whatever. On paper, this sounds absolutely stupid, and there would be no way an executive would be dumb enough to actually pick this up. However, with the context that this is a Lego movie, it somehow miraculously made it work. In a sense, yes, everything sounds like it was all made up on the spot. But let's be honest, when we were playing with toys like Legos as a kid, who didn't do that? The whole movie pretty much pays homage to a simpler time of our youth, when we would just make up our own epic tales and have whoever we want in there, like it's all one big Who Framed Roger Rabbit style crossover. And by doing that, the movie would give the audience something that no other film would be capable of doing, resulting in something that's completely original and has no rules by doing so. Now, with that said, since it's making its own rules, there wouldn't be any flaws with it, right? Not really, no. Even if the movie can do whatever it wants, there are still a few things that they skipped in the instructions that are important. One of the key features of this movie is that it's very fast-paced from beginning to end, but it doesn't really handle that well. Often it has a more no time to explain, just go attitude, and it's a little bothersome at times since there's not much room to breathe and comprehend what's going on. That and the humor is a bit of a mix. There are times when it can get really funny, but it tries to shoot out so many at once, some of them just fall flat. There are a few things that could have been fixed up a bit, but only this film is capable of telling a story like this. The animation. I'm not sure if I will see a movie that gave out such attention to detail in their animation quite like this. This has been brought to us by what I'm starting to believe is possibly the most underrated animation/visual effects studio, Animalogic, and what they did here is as amazing as their previous works. From what I saw in the movie, it seems like a mix of both computer animation and some stop motion, and the way they blend it together just feels seamless. Making the Legos look like Legos is one thing, but to also make them feel like actual characters is no easy task. But the animators managed to make it work. They went down to put some very precise details into each character to make them look exactly like the plastic toys we all love. They work within the limitations of how the toys can move. Now, when I say that everything in the movie is made out of Legos, the key word here is everything. From the buildings, the characters, the special effects, the landscapes, whatever you see on screen, it's 100% Legos. With that, It totally feels like it brings the audience to a whole new world, and in a way, the amount of detail to make everything Legos is a part of the humor of the film, and it's quite effective. I don't think that there has ever been such innovation in an animated film quite like this since Toy Story. The characters. There's a bit of a mixed relationship with the characters. I'm not saying they're bad anything, and there are some memorable ones. They're just not the ones we focus on. The main character, Emmett, is just a regular construction worker who suddenly was mistaken for the most important special guy ever. There's not really much about this guy other than the shtick of being him all happy-go-lucky and just out of place of everything. Sure, he wants to find ways to stand out from the rest, but there's nothing really special about him. And I know it seems like they did it on purpose, but they didn't really do anything about it. Wildstyle is a surprisingly interesting character. Sure, she has a bit of the love interest role, but she's also a member of the Master Builders, a group of Lego people that just make everything out of anything, since, well, the world is made out of Legos. And she aims to have more with herself in life. There's Lord Business, the evil ruler in charge of the Lego world, who doesn't understand the ideology of the Master Builders and plots to freeze everything. Sounds weird, I know, but it has a very logical explanation at the end of the film. Then there's Vitruvius and the cop, who are actually more the comedy reliefs of the film, and they are quite funny while maintaining an important role in their world. There are plenty of other characters, sure, but they don't play an important role in the film. They're used more as jokes, and I will admit, they're the most effective ones. You never know who will pop out on screen, and it's just so spontaneous that you can't do anything else but laugh. There's nothing wrong with the characters that hurt the movie per se. It's just they're not the element that will stand out the most. I'll be honest, when I first heard about this movie, I never expected to be this pleasantly surprised about it. The Lego Movie is one of the most creative animated films released in a long time, with an enjoyable story, amazingly innovative animation, and humor that will sometimes catch you off guard. This is hands down a must-watch for kids. They will eat this thing up, buy whatever Lego Movie set is out there, and love it forever. As for the people who are older, that kind of depends. Now, there's no hiding that this is like a big dumb Lego commercial for kids. If you can accept or don't care about that and still want to see it, then you'll enjoy it. If you're not interested in seeing this and just think that this is a big dumb Lego commercial for kids, then you're not gonna like it. I can see that this might not be for everyone. If there's just one more thing I would like to add, I just want to say, Phil, Chris, if you guys are ever watching this, I know I may have sometimes smacked a bit of your previous project to the ground, but with the Lego Movie, you made me proud.